Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Our next speaker for tonight is architect and urban conservationist Brinda Somaya. And she started her career firm Somaya and Kalapa Consultants in 1978 in Mumbai. Over 3 decades, she has merged architecture, conservation, and social equity in projects ranging from institutional campuses and rehabilitation of an earthquake-torn village. Miss Brinda Somaya, may you please come on stage and share your thoughts with us.
I do believe that an inclusive practice that spans India's diverse population, be it economic or cultural, provides us architects with great satisfaction, but also a great responsibility. After all, in dreams begin responsibility. I believe the motivation for inclusion and diversity should come not only from the desire to create a just society, but also because it leads to better and more powerful creative processes and solutions. So I've chosen some projects from villages, towns, and cities that my practice has done just to reflect that and connect in some way that I feel connected with. The 2 little village projects I'm showing you. This was just outside Mumbai. It was a temple complex. And they had flower sellers outside the temple. And you can see the picture at the top of how the temple was with the flower sellers, and how after we rebuilt for them, and then we were able to repave the temple, repave the plaza, and build the temple. But what went actually wrong, and why the trustees came to me, they didn't ask the flower sellers what they wanted. So they ended up building stalls for them, which they never refused to shift into. And that is why the trustees came to us. You have to ask your client. It doesn't matter who he is. So all we did was ask them these 2 or 3 questions. Nobody had even asked them what they wanted. And after we asked them, we rebuilt it. We built it where they wanted it. They all shifted in, and without any problem. And we were able to redo the plaza. I think this taught me one of the most important lessons in my practice, that what is our role as architects? Who are we? Are we just building buildings for ourselves or for one client? Or are we building it for the people who are going to use those spaces? Are we going to raise their spirits? Are we going to ask them the right questions? A second village project was a village which was devastated by the Gujarat earthquake. So we went off. You can see the picture on the right side. That was the map of India in the school. The left picture, it was totally devastated. We went around the village. And what we found most important was the government, as they had done in Latur as well, never bothered to ask anybody in the villages that were devastated what they wanted. So we did surveys. There was a lot of depression, so we didn't want to build for them. So we made another deal. We said, we will give you all the cement, whatever's required, or the sand. We'll use the rubble from the village. We'll use the old doors and windows. But you guys have to go back and build your village yourself. But we will pay you for the labor that you entail. And they rebuilt the village. We also made it seismic proof, of course. Now we come to the town. I've chosen 2 projects in the town. One is the Nalanda School. It's almost 200,000 square feet of total non-air conditioned space, except for the principal's room, because the principal almost felt embarrassed that his room didn't have an air conditioner. And there were carrot fields over there. And we used many, many different ways. We treaded the land lightly. We used many different ways to make sure that we did not need air conditioning. We did double walls, we had courtyards, we had jalis, we planted a lot of trees, we used natural materials. And it's been many years again after it's been completed. We're in close touch with the school. And you can see the breakout spaces, the respect for the trees that the children have developed over the years. And the other town project is a hotel, which we did in Kumbhalgarh in Rajasthan. It's perhaps the most beautiful fort in India. I don't know, many of you must have been over there. And we found that the walls over there were just without mortar. They were the local stone and without mortar. So when we went, we found there were 2 or 3 old buildings which were there. We decided not to break them down. All the walls we built, we used the same method with the local stones, low rise, bright colors for Rajasthan. So I'd like to end by saying, so where is our next train stop? As our country hurtles along with its many Indias within it, I wonder how easy or difficult the road ahead will be. I hope that when history books look back at the first few decades of the 21st century, they will find the growth of our cities took place responding to the needs of a people and the traditions of India. Thank you.
If I could now please request His Excellency Alphonsus Stoelinga to kindly deliver the vote of thanks.
Since it is a very Indian tradition to have a vote of thanks, I will do it partly in Hindi. And I will, because I want to tell a secret to the Indian architects. So the secret is in Hindi. Aaj mere liye bahut khushi aur adar ki baat hai ki main आप सब सिपाकारों के बीच में हूँ शायद इसलिए भी क्योंकि जब मैं जवान था शिपकारी मेरी पहली पढ़ाई थी इसलिए मेरा विचार है कि शिपकार बहुत सुंदर इमारत बना सकते हैं लेकिन वे भी राजदूत भी बन सकते हैं. I would like to say that indeed it is for us an honor to host this event. I would like to thank for tonight Raj Rewal, our guest of honor, and also Brinda Somaya for the very enlightening clear statements. They are not presentations but statements that they made. Also Ole, thank you very much for your vision on architecture. And I would like to repeat what we have as an embassy have as a message to Indian architects and to the Indian world, to Indian creative industry scene. That is that the Netherlands and India have a lot to offer to each other in the field of creative industry. So thank you very much, all of you, for your presence here tonight and for your attention.
Thank you, Mr. Stoelinga, for being so gracious in lending your support to this event. There's no doubt that the evening has left a lingering and constructive flavor, and for this I would like to thank Architecture + Design and CERA for their efforts.
Architects are doers. They work on site. They are real practitioners, right? So they want to accomplish things, to deliver things, and sometimes it's hard to exchange ideas about this delivery. So it's important to organize discourse, either through magazines or books or through events like this.
You know, I started my talk with what is our cultural heritage and how I connect with it, and I think we mustn't forget that. And I think we have to cater for that, and we have to learn a lot from the past. It doesn't mean that we have to copy the past. I always tell students, you cannot marry your grandmother. So, but you have to go ahead. You have to take inspiration.
After my talk, so many young people came to me, and all of them want to know how they can do something along the lines of what I showed. And that enthusiasm which is there after a talk, how do we conserve it and how do we channel it for them into actually producing something good? And I think that's where they get lost, some of them. So we don't have enough mentors and enough advisors for them to take their dreams forward. I hope that that will be created.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.